O'clock on March 5th, Tuesday. I'll call this meeting of the Board of Public Works to order. First order of business is the reading and approving of the minutes from February 20th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from February 20th.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Next order is payment of claims in the amount of $316,838.76. Have any discussion?
I move to make payment of claims.
Second? In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Under old business, we have 4 items that were tabled from our February 20th meeting. There was discussion regarding 2 different things. One was the closure of the road and whether the city could do it or NDOT needed to do it. We did receive clarification on that from the state. And I'll just read this to you. As long as the closure is not more than 3 hours, the city can approve it. The city is required to sign and return a hold harmless form, and we need to provide them with a map of the route closure and proposed detours, which we will do. So that has been resolved. The request by Circus City Festival street closures during the festival from July 13th through July 20th. The areas are the same as previously, as in previous years. Any discussion on that?
You need to remove it from the table.
Remove from the table?
Yeah, it's been tabled, so you have to remove it from the table before you can discuss it.
It's removed from the table.
You have to vote on it.
I move to bring the request for the Circus City Festival from the table.
And at this point, do we vote to remove that?
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So now we can proceed with discussion?
Yes, you may.
Any discussion on that?
Has there been any other information from a legal standpoint or any paperwork that we needed? There's a lot of discussion about the insurance and things of that nature that ties in with a lot of these we're going to be talking about today, but is there any new information since our last meeting?
Well, we had drafted a hold harmless. I believe that's one thing we're going to require people that are making these requests just to sign. We're not going to, it's my understanding, it's not going to be requested to have the extra event policy in place, but at least for the road closures and whatnot, just hold harmless.
Yeah, that's correct, and I do have a copy of that waiver and release of liability and hold harmless here that we can present today to those requesting street closures for these events, so we can provide those to you today for signing. So we need a motion to approve the Circus City Festival.
So moved.
Second? In favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next tabled item was a request by Circus City Festival for street closures and police assistance to conduct the annual circus parade on Saturday, July 20th. The route is the same as in previous years. This was also tabled, so we need to move to remove it. And
I can't even speak here today. I would say that
You move. You move.
we move to bring the request for Circus City Festival off the table.
second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye. So we will go ahead and do the same thing. There's no further discussion about this Circus City Festival street closures. We will provide them with the same waiver of release of liability. So we need a motion to approve their request.
So moved.
Second? In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Third request was by Diane Skillen to close the Riverwalk and First Shelter for the annual Miami County Helping Hands Walk for Hunger on Saturday, April 27th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This was also tabled, so we need a motion to bring it back for discussion.
So moved.
Second?
Aye. Or-
Aye.
We're on.
We're going to get these back in front of us here.
Yeah.
So any discussion on that request for the Helping Hands Walk of Hunger? If not, we need a motion to approve that request.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
And we will, once again, make sure that Ms. Skillen has this liability form as well. The fourth request that was tabled from last meeting was a request from Vicki Draper to close a few parking places in the second block of North Broadway on the east side on Mother's Day, May 12th, to allow Legends to stage carriage rides. I need a motion to bring that back.
Move to bring the request from Vicki Draper back on the table.
I second. In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any discussion about this request?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bowman went to Steve Holt and asked if he could sponsor a second wagon. So with my apologies, we're doing that. And it's going to be around the corner, another 2 parking places. Do you want me to fill out another form and come to another meeting, or can we just do that here?
Dustin, what would you recommend?
As long as we know where it's going to be, I don't think there's an issue.
And the request was for a few parking places. It doesn't say which ones.
We'll do the 2 parking places in front of corner, they're closed, and we'll do 2 parking places around the corner, on the side of the corner of our.
East 6th Street.
Yes, sir.
Do you know if the corner will be open in May?
It won't be.
Not on
open
Sundays.
other days. On
On
Sundays.
Sundays.
They're closed.
Positive? Okay. Just
They don't serve
questioning.
food, I don't think they can be open, can they?
Yeah, it's a law.
I don't know what kind, if they serve food or not.
They do not.
Okay. So we need a motion to approve the request by Vicki Draper to close parking spaces.
So moved.
Second? In favor?
We hate to interrupt on that, but is there any way, we had a nightmare on the carriages on 7th Street during that Christmas parade.
You
Okay.
did? I didn't hear anything.
Oh, well, we were running
Traffic
traffic,
control.
it was just terrible.
Of
because-
people trying to come up behind it, we're trying to go around it.
Oh, okay.
So what-
I never heard that.
What we would like, yeah, we should have we discussed that amongst ourselves
Right.
that night.
That's okay. That's all right.
I would rather see just coning all those parking spots on that side of the road. That way they can come
On
around.
6th Street?
No, on Broadway, and quite
If
a
they're
few.
gonna, if they're gonna pick up on 6th Street or on Broadway,
They're
have that,
picking up on Broadway and 6th Street.
Yeah, so they can go around there, come into that zone of cones and be up against the sidewalk, so they're not out in the street picking people up.
right.
Oh, yeah, they're not supposed to do that.
Right, but if we just do 2 spots, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a car here, and 2 spots.
And then
they're
the
not gonna be
carriage
able to
then is
swing
gonna
in.
come out. And
Well,
there's gonna
I'll
be
tell you
cars
what,
up there.
what Steve wanted to do, you're not gonna like this either. You know how it's blocked off on the corner there? It's yellow? He
Right.
thought we could pull the horse up there.
Oh, in that hash mark on the north side of 6th.
Oh,
And on
on
Broadway.
Broadway, yeah.
Broadway.
Why don't you just block off the whole half block there from DeRozier's
From the
north?
alley.
No, I don't think any of those buildings, those businesses are open
Well, yeah,
on Sundays, so just
that's
do the
the
whole,
problem.
just do the whole alley.
Wait a minute. Steve's not gonna like that either because he's open.
Oh.
He doesn't have any place to park then, because it's for sure, he can't use the parking spots.
What's the route of the carriage, right?
It's gonna start in front of Steve's, go around the corner, down 1 block, up, what is that?
Wabash.
Wabash. And then back around Main, back around Broadway.
All the way to Maine?
It'd be nice, that's what we've done in the past, but if it's bad, we'll do 6.
Yeah.
6. Whatever you guys tell us, we'll do.
And tell me again, remind me of the hours.
have that, 11 to 2,
Sunday.
Mother's Day.
There's only 4 spots there now,
In front of Legends.
in front of Legends. There's only 4 spots now, isn't there?
It's diagonal parking. so
Yeah.
there's more.
Yeah,
There's
there's
gotta be
more.
if you go from the alley.
I thought there was only 4.
So for 3 hours, are we going to close the entire road, the streets?
Well,
He's talking about the
we were
parking
just
place.
saying, we go off that parking, so they can
Mhm.
swing in and have that carriage down that whole shop from the alley to the corner, so they don't have to load out in the street. So there won't be cars sitting behind them or going around.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea,
Yeah.
but I don't know if Steve's gonna wanna have the carriage if he has to block off all this parking. See what I'm saying? Because you know how Peru is, I have to walk a block.
Right.
They don't like that.
And I guess just as a police perspective, especially from 11 to 2 on Mother's Day on Sunday with church getting out, Fifth Street may be better than Main.
That's fine, that's what we'll do.
You guys you wanna load it all on Fifth?
Well, we have the other carriage now.
Broadway and then on Sixth,
Yeah.
and then make their
On
left out.
Sixth, yeah, Sixth, yeah,
Down
down
Bash
Fifth
Street
Street.
to
instead of
Fifth, and
Main.
then come back around.
That's fine.
Well, if we could do those last 2, the furthest one parking spots.
Correct.
On Broadway, and then 2 on Sixth.
Right there in front of the corner.
Yeah.
Down towards the.
And hope that they can swing in there, unless you want to have somebody man one of those cones and pull it out of the way when they come down.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. We were gonna have somebody out there anyway to help
Yeah, but the
load.
problem we had on 7th Street that night was,
Horrendous, huh?
yeah, they were unloading and unloading on 7th, and we had, well, that was pretty bad. Yeah.
I didn't even know that happened, I'm sorry.
Well, it was just what it is, I mean, that's
Right.
what happened.
Well, we'll fix it this year.
But yeah, just, yeah, if you could just have somebody man that one cone, we could do those two spots at the corner, and then 2 spots at the corner, and they could swing in both carriages in that
Oh,
way.
that'd be lovely if you can do that.
Yeah, and then if you guys just want to have somebody pull the cone out of the way, they can put that cone back so the car doesn't park there, and we're good with that.
So just so I'm clear,
Yeah,
what are we going to do exactly?
2 spots,
2 spots
2 northern spots
in front of Legends?
in front of Legends, 2 spots on 5th, or 6th, excuse me. And then they'll just have someone, when that carriage comes back around, they'll pull the
Mhm.
cone out of the way, they can swing in, put that cone back, they can load, and then they can go around the corner and
They'll
out.
be traveling along the curb, right?
Yeah, we're gonna be at the corner,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so will they be operating in the roadway or along the
No,
curb?
No, they'll be,
Okay.
they'll be driving in the road.
Oh, this is just for loading and unloading?
Right.
Then traveling around the square, the block?
Yep.
Did we decide if we're going over to Main Street?
Yes, we are not.
And- Yes, we are not?
Yes, we decided, no, we are not.
Okay, so we're going to go Wabash to Fifth, up Fifth, so basically 1 block around
Right.
there, okay. Recognizing that on Mother's Day, at that time, Gabriel's is probably going to be very busy as well. So we need to understand there's going to be a lot of traffic in that area.
Gabriel
Okay.
closes at 3, right?
I think so, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
This is 11 to 2, correct?
Yes, that'll be
Right in the middle.
lunchtime,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Chief Dane, do you have any concerns, objections, or?
I have none.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen, I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Then we need a motion to approve the request from Vicki Draper.
So moved.
Second? Favor?
Aye.
Aye. And before you leave, would you please take one of these? Thank you.
I will.
Moving on to new business.
Oh, I want to add one more thing.
Yes.
The horse lady is adding Peru to her insurance policy. So just so you know that.
Thank you very much. And
Not a
if we
problem.
could
Happy to-
get provided a copy of that, that'd be,
That, she's mailing it today.
thank you.
You're welcome.
New business, we have a request from Carrie Young Kelsey Jones, representing Relay of Life of Miami County, to use the Riverwalk on May 18th for their annual event. This includes the walk, luminaries, and vendor tent teams. Would you like to come forward and explain your request? Hi.
So we are requesting usage of the river walk at the Riverview Event Center. So our people will park in the parking lot of the Riverview Event Center and use the short path of the river walk to walk laps. So we, again, start just outside in the grass or on the river walk of the Riverview Event Center and circle, it's probably 100 meters. 150 meters. We don't walk off any of the river walk. We just light the pathway with luminary bags that people decorate for.
Mhm.
Yes.
And what time is this?
3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then we will need to add the requested picnic tables and trash cans from the Parks Department. We used them last year as well. We just did not add that.
Do we know how many? How many picnic tables?
Normally we do like maybe 6 picnic tables he brings down, and then he brings like 6 or 8 trash cans down.
So you just brought a bundle last time.
Okay.
We've used them several years in a row. They're really good about doing that for us.
Any more discussion? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. If not, need a motion to approve the request?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we would ask that you sign one of these before you leave,
Do you need something from us from the American Cancer Society? Because they do have a liability policy that they have.
if we have it already?
Yes, you should.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Next item, of new business, is a request from Marlene Mickelson, representing Miami County Artisan Gallery, to block off an area around the courthouse for the 3rd annual Peru Visual Arts Festival on May 11th from 10 a.m. until midnight. This would include 5th Street from Wabash to Miami and Broadway from Main to 6th Street. Hi.
I'm wanting to amend that so that we start at 7 for setup, and that we would include going up to 5th Street instead of 6th.
So you want to set up at what time in the morning?
7.
7 a.m.? So we need the streets blocked starting at 7 until midnight? Okay. And then you're going to go from Main to 5th? Okay, not 6th.
I added material today so that you can see all the activities that we have going on. We have a call for artists, and it promotes the competition holding, to visit the different galleries, and to enjoy the food and activities.
Thank you very much. Chief Dane, do you have any issues?
There's one other item.
Yes.
We need to get approval so that the tents that are on the street will not be taken down until the morning of Monday morning, when the courthouse opens. That will allow us to have a discount from that business. So they don't, they would charge us quite a bit to take them down at midnight. And on Monday is their usual picnic time.
And will these tents be in the road?
These tents will be on the streets in the parking spots.
Just about the width of the parking space, or does it extend out? Okay.
And is this the same as you've done in years past? Leaving them up?
We did not rent tents, but we did leave a stage in years past until Monday morning. spot in front of the courthouse.
Okay.
So this year we're adding rented tenants to the festival in similar, I guess, area.
Mm-hmm.
How are they secured to the street, in case you have a wind or anything like that? Do you anchor them in any certain way?
Yes. They're weights, they're huge weights, we pay extra for them.
They're what, Vicki?
They're weights, huge weights, we pay extra for them. They're the same tents that we used to use for Cole Porter and Chris Kindle, same company. They know what we're up against. Did you tell them about the stage and where it's going to be?
Yeah, we wanted to ask about the space for emergency vehicles, because last year we were given specific space, which is not an issue, but we decided to move the stage to the center of the street or off to the side, depending on what we need to leave open for emergency vehicles. And you should be able to, like, that would not be left up overnight, obviously, in the street, but, so we're wondering about that.
So this is going to be on a Saturday,
Yes.
and then the following day, we're going to have horse-drawn carriages going around that area. Will we have, and the tent will still be up until Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going
Tents
to,
up in that area.
Pardon me?
There won't be tents up in that area.
Okay.
We'll stop tents at this.
Okay. I just want to make sure there wasn't any, blocking the route for the horses the following day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also like to add that we're adding lights, so it'll be easier at night, and then we go to midnight, but that's because we do a community thing of the world for the city, and I'll do the local of the festival.
And these lights that you're going to have up, do you require for utilities for any kind of electrical service?
Arrangements,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Assistant Chief Venipol, any issues, questions?
Yes, questions on where exactly are the tents set up? Is it Fifth Street between Broadway and Court, or is it Fifth Street between Broadway and Miami?
On Broadway.
On Broadway?
Yes.
On
So
Broadway.
everything we're doing will be on Broadway.
Okay.
We're focusing on downtown in front of the courthouse,
Mhm.
there at main entrance.
So then Fifth Street between Miami and Wabash, that whole stuff, there's gonna be vendors and stuff on that? Or is that just so the traffic doesn't come through there?
In years past, we've partnered with Second Saturday, and they've used that space for the kids' activities.
Okay.
We do not currently have plans to set up tents in that space.
Okay.
East side.
On Fifth Street at all? On Fifth Street at all?
Correct.
Okay. And then the stage, where is that planned to be at?
We're planning that to be at the head, the north end of, right before Fifth Street.
On Broadway? Okay.
So Fifth Street basically is going to be nothing on Fifth Street. It's going to be open traffic.
Depending on, I don't know, do we have it around here too? And yours, sorry about that, and we may have it in.
Yeah, last year you guys had it,
We did.
at the parking lot up to across Broadway and then down to Court. Right, parking lot of the bank, now the Court.
We don't need that long. The only thing we are doing is a youth paint event. The only thing I can think of that we would possibly use that space for this year would be space for the youth to come out of the museum and paint. But it's not necessary. It would just be a safe spot for them to be.
Yeah, we were just getting at, are we closing Fifth Street at all? Are we just closing
Right.
from Fifth to Main? We're just closing Broadway?
That, we're deciding right now, I think, because we had it in as a typo, but
Okay.
it kind of as a typo. I don't think we can have space to it.
The volunteers, I think we should stop
Would it be possible for you to provide us with a map of the downtown location showing the streets and where you want to have the tents and the stage and those things, so we, as law enforcement and police and traffic control, we know exactly what we need to respond to your request?
Yes.
And then you could come back and,
Has this map.
okay.
We can give to them.
Yeah, we have,
It's clear on here.
yeah, but,
Did you get a copy?
would it be
Hmm?
possible
Did you get a copy?
to approve Broadway today, and we'll come back if we need to ask about, we'll figure out what we want to do with Fifth Street, if we want to block it or not, and,
We have another meeting in 2 weeks. I would prefer to just approve it all at once, so we know exactly what we've got to bundle together and how police and fire and traffic need to respond. It's a great thing you're doing. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page on what we're closing and blockading, okay? So we will, I'll make a motion that we table this till our next Board of Works meeting. And if you could present us with that map, then I'm sure we will be okay.
could we get the information on what space do we need to have open for emergency vehicles?
You need to leave a driving lane of at least 16 feet. So if you're on Broadway, if you're on the east side, basically, the west side needs to stay open or right down the middle. Vice versa, if you're gonna put tents on the west side also. So we need 16 feet, and then the same thing on Fifth Street. We need at least one driving lane to where we can get down through there unimpeded. So it's not like you can say, well, we're gonna move this tent or this table or whatever. No, it has to be open. So if we show up there, and we can get down through there.
Okay, 16.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'd make a motion that we table this request until our next Board of Works meetings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next request we have is from Jenny Rhodes, representing the Miami County YMCA, to conduct their annual Firecracker 5K on Thursday, July 4th. The route is the same as in previous years and would begin at the fire department and proceed through McConaughey Park and return to the fire department on South Broadway. Times will be between 7:45 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Would you like to come forward and
Sure.
tell us about your request?
Alice and I are up here representing YMCA. We'd like to hold the 28th annual Firecracker 5K. We spoke to both Chief Dean and Chief Fuller and would like to put in the same request. We start the race at the fire station on Canal Street, and then we take a right on Broadway and then loop into McConaughey Park. But our biggest safety concern is from Canal Street to Knapp Park. We do need to close one lane of traffic because we are up to close to 300 participants now. So typically, between the police and the firemen and the EMA, we have somebody that is at each intersection along that way to make sure that the cars are not coming across into the race course. So we have a couple other requests as well too. I did speak to Chief Dane, he offered his team. We usually get a chance to borrow the cones from the city, and they set that up and tear that down for us. And then a minor request is the restrooms for the River Walkway Park to be open by 6:30 in the morning in order to use those, or to have a second bank of restrooms for our participants and volunteers to use as well too. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or.
Is this identical to what you did last year?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no changes, any concerns from traffic, police, or fire?
I met with Ms. Rose. The only changes will be this year is it'll provide portalets. We'll put them out by the boulevard more.
Okay.
So that way, we can keep the buildings and stuff secured while they're there. We'll set the course up for them like we've always done in the years past. We'll get the traffic cones from the traffic department, and then we'll go back and pick them up, and then we'll follow last runner out with the UTV, just to make sure medical, we're okay. So we should be fine, I suppose.
Very good. And I will check with the Parks Department and make sure there's no issues having those restrooms open for you that time of morning. Okay?
Yeah, you guys have been, we really appreciate all your help. We know it takes a huge community effort to put this 5K on, so,
Thank you, appreciate it.
yeah, thank you.
Any more discussion? If not, I need a motion to approve the request for the Firecracker 5K on July 4th.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Last item of business is the opening of the bids for material for the street department.
Gaunt and Son provided bids for the asphalt and the tack coat. Tack coat is $4.25 per gallon. Base and intermediate coats of asphalt are $89 per ton, and the surface is $92.75, using virgin materials only. And they provided all the insurance documentation. And E&B paving, their base coat is $88 a ton, intermediate is $91 a ton, and the surface is $102 per ton. Virgin materials only. It's hard to compare. Their base oil price is $510 a ton, and Gaunt is per gallon, so I'm not up on my gallons to tons ratio, so we'll have to take it under advisement.
We're per ton.
So what?
We're per ton also.
Are you? It's per gallon. Tack coat per gallon.
You're just talking down the bottom, the oil base price.
No, I did all those, but then their base oil price is per ton, and
So is ours. Go to the bottom of the bid, that bottom paragraph, 525.
oh, okay, 525, there it is, okay. I was looking at the top. Okay, it's 5 1/4. And their tack coat is $2.30 a gallon versus $4.25.
So am I to understand that E&B had the better pricing?
On a few, and then Gunson had a
It's mixed.
Brian, do you have any comment?
Since the price is only within $1 on most of them, and E&B, or Gaunt and Son is already doing the work in the Oakdale project, we just go with Gaunt and Son for the bid. Is that a legal thing to do?
I mean, we'd have to, I mean, we could ultimately make that happen, but we gotta show why that's the most reasonable bid, but I would take them under advisement.
Yep.
I approve them as is, take them under advisement to be awarded at the next Board of Works meeting. If that way we have a chance to look at them and just double check the insurance policies and make sure they've complied with everything.
So is that, do I need to make that form of a motion?
Yes,
That we take both quotes under advisement?
to accept the bids as presented, take them under advisement, and to award at the next Board of Works meeting.
So I make a motion to take the bids as is under advisement and table them to the next Board of Works meeting. That's my motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we'll review these and then bring them forward to the next Board of Works meeting. Any further communications from department heads? Anything we need to discuss further? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor, were you going to ask if the audience had any concerns?
Yeah, I was reviewing out there if there's any further discussion. Yes, sir. You have something? Sure, come forward. Please tell us your name.
Jesse Briscoe. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, it's been, I don't know, maybe a few months ago, y'all had a write-up in the paper about the bridge going over the railroad track. What, is anything being done about that yet?
A bridge going over the railroad track.
I live out in Oakdale.
Uh-huh.
That should be your answer right there.
Okay.
Are you,
19.
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. One time, I had to go clear to 31 to get in on the south side of Peru. Now, I mean, there's traffic back from Hardee's, clear around Square Leaf to 19, from Washington Street 19, clear to the red light. You can see the traffic. Then there was traffic backed up from 24 bypass, clear up over the hill down to Hardee's. Y'all working on the streets. But and all the crossings clear to the west end were blocked. So the only way you got a chance to go on the south side of town is wait in that long traffic, of course, but I had to be there at a certain time. But I had to go out that way. That's beside the point. I want to know if anything's being done about that stupid railroad track crossing. Y'all mentioned it, it must have been in the paper
Mayor,
months ago.
I don't recall.
what I think you might be referring to is
Pardon?
the study.
The study.
Oh,
Or
yes.
Feasibility
Study's
study.
being done.
Yes.
That'd be done.
Study's being done by the state.
Say it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We are currently in the final stages of approving, well, the Federal Railroad Administration, and we're getting a grant to do a feasibility study. That feasibility study will be done to determine where in the city, which crossing is the best location for either an overpass or an underpass. Then that will be the recommendation that they will bring forward. At that point, then we have to find funds for that overpass or underpass and the location that they think is best determined to be. So quite frankly, I think we're a ways off from an overpass or an underpass, but it is moving forward. And I live here, I understand your pain, we all do.
You mean to tell me that they're gonna make a decision where that thing goes and it might not go down there?
Yes, sir. That will be the recommendation.
Well, I hope they got a good brain on it.
I do too. I think we all know where the best location is, but unfortunately, the FRA, they're doing their due diligence, and we have to go along with that right now.
Personally, my choice for the cheapest is across Ash Street.
Okay?
You know where Ash Street is?
I do.
Yes, sir. That's the narrowest
Mhm.
and the wide openest spot there is. Me, of course, I'm not going to pick it, but
Mhm.
19-inch.
Yeah.
To-
But that way the state can take it, because it's a state highway.
Right.
To be able to make grade for an overpass, they gotta go at least 800 feet back.
Yeah.
800.
800 feet.
You'd never make an overpass.
That means a lot of property.
Yep, to make grade.
You'll take maybe two houses down there.
Mhm.
But over on this side, you put it on 19, you're going to take a lot of property there. But anyway, I want to
True.
know if you all heard anything about
I will tell you that we have regularly, monthly update Zoom calls, Zoom meetings with the FRA regarding this project. It is moving forward. It's about as slowly as the trains sometimes, but it is moving forward.
hope they don't put us pass in because the water problem we got, or the one you got now.
Thank you.
Overhead.
I appreciate that. Appreciate your concern. Thanks for coming up.
Okay.
Anybody else have any comments? If not, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, meeting's adjourned.